Outright winners, top finishers, Draftkings Darlings, and much, much more. This is the Memorial Tournament at Muirfield Village breakdown video. Welcome, everyone, to the Cut Line. I am your host, Andy Lang, being joined, as always, by my fellow golf betting expert, Yann. We got a big boy tournament this week. We don't have any tails from the courtesy tent. Not too many bad shots last week. Alex Smalley fell coming out of a bunker, but shot wasn't all that bad. But we were talking this week, there's going to be some doozy of a shots, but let's break down the course. This is a Jack Nicklaus special. He always likes to say that this course tests all aspects of the game, and it couldn't be more true. You don't drive the ball accurate, your approach is going to be all messed up. If your approach is messed up, you're going to be in some pretty thick stuff around the greens. The greens some of them are elevated. They're tough to hit. This is a par 72 or just over 7,500 yards. It's one of the toughest non-major tests, and it really, truly is a test of every single part of the game. I actually think around the green is a little bit underrated aspect here because you're just not going to be able to hit every green in regulation. You're going to have to be getting up and down. The par fives are fairly gettable, but these long par fours are just brutal. It's a pretty tough closing stretch. So incredible field, incredible course, incredible tournament. What's your take on the Memorial and Muirfield?
I love this course because it's the hardest tee to green course on the PGA Tour, in my opinion. Like you say, starting with off the tee, while the fairways are wide, this isn't an easy golf course off the tee. The rough is very thick, and this is one of the biggest missed fairway penalties on tour. You've got to be finding fairways, and you can't have the big miss around here. It will cost you so much. And while this is a fairly long course, distance doesn't matter to me. It's all about accuracy off the tee. And this is why distance off the tee doesn't matter. This just turns into a long iron approach course anyway. But much like last week, you will miss greens even if good on approach. These greens are small. They are very easy to miss. And that brings in the around the green guys, like you were saying, as another stat to look into. You are looking at some of the hardest greenside bunkers on tour as well. So around the green will matter. And then after all of that, you still need to make putts. So it's accuracy off the tee, approach with elite iron play, tee to green. Those are the big three stat lines and a total must-haves. And then around the green and putting also really helps. Like you say, overall, this is a big all-round golfing test. This is golf at its finest, and I'm pumped for this one.
Yeah. This is, I mean, the field could not be more loaded. It's just it's an incredible tournament every single year. So let's do our one and done here. Last week I went with Ricky Fowler. He promptly missed the cut. I don't know where that came from, Ricky, but I'm going to use, I believe you used him last week. I'm going with Alex Smalley. The guy just continues to play really good golf, 3rd, 2nd, 17th, and 7th, the last 4 tourneys, the last 30 days, plus 2.47 total strokes gained. And you mentioned it, no weakness. You can't have any weakness in your game to do well here. You can't be like, oh, I'm good off the tee, but not really with a pro. It's not going to work here. And Alex Smalley is playing elite golf, one of the best on tour right now. So I'm not really sure how long this is going to keep up for Alex Smalley. We see these guys go on these stretches and then it falls off a cliff. I'll use my Alex Smalley start this week. Who are you going to use?
I'm going to use my Xander Scheffler this week. Whilst there was a couple of guys I've already taken that I'd rather have than Xander, he still ticks a lot of boxes here. He has elite ball striking. He's one of the most classy players in the field. And his game is built for difficult scoring conditions and tests like this. He's one of the most consistent long iron players and one of the best tee to green players in this field. He should be avoiding mistakes and bogeys better than most. 7th in the PGA, 9th in the Masters, 3rd in the Players, gives him every chance this week. Xander just has a very high floor. I'd be amazed if he isn't top 20 this week, which makes him a decent play for one and done here.
All right, so we got Alex Smalley, we got Xander Schauffele as our one and dones. Let's take a look at total strokes gained, and when I'm looking at this, I just need to see all green. I can't see a gigantic like Gary Woodland. I can't see this minus 0.29 around the green. Yes. It's gonna bite you. It doesn't work around here. JJ Spawn, that minus 0.24 putting does not work around here. You got to be good everywhere. So Cameron Young still holding on to the last 3 months best in total strokes gained over Scheffler. We got Ludwig, we got Rory, Fitzpatrick. Anything standing out here to you?
Yeah, I'd be looking at the top tee to green guys. I think the class should rise to the top here. Want to be looking at Scotties, Youngs, Rorys, and that level of tee to green class, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a big boy tournament, man. Take a lot for a long shot to win a tournament like this. It's very much like a major. So, all right, that is your total strokes gained. We'll move to players that can trip you up. Did okay last week. I said Ben Griffin, but he had a good tournament third. McIntyre was 42nd. Keith Mitchell missed the cut. So we're going to go to players that I think people are going to be betting on, and I'm here to just warn you, be a little careful here. This is just a tough tournament to do this because all the big name guys are going to have really, really good stats. So you kind of got to go out on a limb. And I will start with Cam Young. Yes, I know he's number one total strokes gained. You cannot ignore the course history here. Finishes are 25th, 50th, miscut, 60th. I know the consistency is here this year. He's playing the best that he's ever played, but I just cannot ignore the course history here. 4 years in a row of subpar, pun intended there. I mean, just even after his win at the Cadillac, follows it up with the 10th and the 26th. Again, some of that inconsistency flashing. So Cam Young, as good as he's playing right now, I just can't bring myself to put anything on him with his course history here. I think he's a little overvalued. I'm going to go with the Russell Henley letdown after the win last week. I know he finished 15th last year, but before that, 27th and 16th. I just thought last week's course set up perfectly for him. And I know accuracy is important, and he is accurate off the tee. He's just not that long, and he's just playing with some bombers that when they are hitting the fairways, they leave themselves much easier approach shots than he does. So, he missed the cut at the PGA Championship, 49th at the Cadillac before his win. I'm just not really convinced that he's going to be there this week at this level. And I just over the years, fading some of these guys after they get a win, it's an emotional letdown, especially when there's a really hard course coming up. And then we keep talking about him, Tommy Fleetwood. He just continues to be priced as this elite contender, but the numbers just don't really support it. Finishes of 16th and 20th here the last 2 years. Good, but not dominant. Last 3 months, he's 23rd in total stroke gains field. Tommy Fleetwood, 23rd over a 3-month period. That's a good golfer. That's not a guy competing for the win. So I just don't think he should be priced as a top 10 option. There's better guys at better prices. So Cam Young, Russell Henley, and Tommy Fleetwood are 3 players that I think can trip you up. All right, we move to top 10 or missed cut. This is if we think a guy can finish top 10 or if he's going to be at the bottom. I did a Harry Hall last week. We put him in a bet, and the guy missed the cut completely. Come on, Harry. Harry Hall should not be missing cuts at tournaments like that. That's really bad. So I'll let you go first. Who do you have for top 10 or missed cut?
I'm taking Sepp Straka this week. I'm always saying how classy Straka is. He's a 4-time PGA winner, a 2-time Ryder Cupper. He has some of the best irons in the game when he's firing. He's an unreal course manager. He's come 3rd, 5th, and 16th in his last 3 visits here. He's one of the smartest golfers I've ever seen. But he just really struggles to bring it all together. He has bad putting weeks. He has bad approach weeks. He has a bit of shaky around the green game. He can be so wayward off the tee. There are just multiple ways that Straka really struggles here this time. If one aspect of his game is off, it can ruin his entire scorecard. He's had 4 top 10s this year, but he's had 3 missed cuts. At this sort of test, I don't know if you can trust him, but the class is there if he turns up. Classic missed cut top 10 week for Sepp Straka here.
I'm going with JJ Spawn, 6th, missed cut 5th the last 3 weeks. He's been all over the board, and he missed the cut the last year at the tournament. I pointed him out at the total strokes gained. His putting is minus 0.2 for the last 3 months, but this guy showed he's just bad putting, and then all of a sudden he just randomly wins a tournament, like just out of nowhere when he hits his putts. So I got him. Nothing would surprise me with this guy. So I got JJ Spawn as a top 10 or missed cut. Moving on to any head-to-heads, I did Bo Hostler over Max Homa, and Bo Hostler was terrible. Homa was actually much better than I expected last week, so he would have beat most guys. I would have taken him over. But I'll go to you. Any head-to-head matchups that you see that you like this early?
I really struggled to find anything this week. All the guys I wanted to take are against each other, but I did find one, and that's Harry English over Chris Gotterup at +110. This is a course that rewards precision, iron play, and bogey avoidance. English is that. He's one of those steady, just fine fairway types who tends to survive these grind setups better than explosive powerhouses like Gotterup. And Gotterup's accuracy off the tee is terrifying. I just think he's going to find himself getting into trouble repeatedly. Gotterup's game is going to look very different when he's playing out of these roughs. I think these guys are going to be taking very different second shots. And on a second shot golf course, give me the guy on the fairway. English is by far the better around the green player and the better putter too. I will take the consistency of Harris English over the power of Gotterup at this setup every single time. The wrong guy's favourite here, in my opinion.
I love that play. That is a great play. Gotterup 2 times playing here. He's missed the cut both times. So I agree completely. Boy, I hope he finishes top 10, not missed cut. I got Sepp Straka over Shane Lowry. I'm going to believe in Straka. He likes this place. The last, top 5 the last 2 years here. He was 12th last week. Maybe we get a little bit of good form. He has certainly not been the same player since he took that app. It was a personal app. He just had not been the same guy. He was really, really playing good golf and it kind of got derailed. But Shane Lowry, 23rd, 49th the last 2 years here. No top 20s in his last 8 starts, though just the course history alone to me favors Straka. So I'll take Straka over Shane Lowry, and hopefully we get the good Sepp Straka, not the bad Sepp Straka. So if you guys are watching, please hit the like button, drop us a comment below. Love reading the comments and hearing what you guys are on. Every week we run our buy 7 days of golf, and you get all of our plays. So any plays that we have, DP World Tour and the Memorial will be included in that. So you can grab that at wt.buzz/AL. Let's move to the top finishers. Ludwig, top 10, was a loser. Smalley, top 40, top 20 was a winner. The Smalley, top 20 plus money, great call by you clients last week. I almost put Ludwig in players that can trip you up because it's like, when is this guy going to close? Come on, Ludwig. Like, you look at the numbers and you're like, Jesus, this guy should be in the final group almost every week. And he's not there. So I'm getting frustrated by the potential in him not getting there. So he almost made players that can trip you up. But then I was like, that's spiteful. You probably shouldn't do that. So I got 2 of them this week. I'll go first. I did Scottie Scheffler, top 5. I don't even need to include ties. I mean, this is just a perfect course for him. He's won the last 2 years, 3rd before that. If you're looking for a guy with a complete game, it's Scheffler. I know this year hasn't been like in years past, but this is literally the perfect course for him and his game. He can do it all at this course. It showed. So I'll start off with Scheffler, top 5. It's -125, no ties. What'd you come up with?
My first one is Alex Smalley, top 20 at +160, including ties. Like you say, still one of the hottest players on tour. That's now 6 top 20 finishes in a row after coming 3rd last week. You've just got to think he's going to enjoy this course. He does actually have 2 missed cuts on his only 2 visits here, but they were in 22 and 23, and he's just a different golfer now. His tee to green game, his long irons, and his bogey avoidance give him every chance to contend outright, in my opinion. And I think that's the beauty of top 20 bets this week. You don't need to be beating the Scotties of the world. You just need these guys to continue what they've been doing. And what Smalley has been doing recently has been elite. I fully expect Alex Smalley to find fairways and avoid mistakes on approach and go really well again this week. And this price is just far too big not to take.
I'd have to agree. That price is really, really insane. So I have a feeling that might sneak into client plays. So, listen, you talked about Straka top 10 or miscut. If he's top 10, this top 20, including ties at +146 is mighty enticing to me. I wouldn't play the matchup against Lowry and top 20. I'd pick one, but I just can't ignore 3rd and 5th the last 2 years. If he's in form, this is, again, a guy whose game is complete. It sets up well for him. 12th last week, I'm just going to believe in him at +146. So, do you have another one?
I do indeed, and he is back. Give me the pride of Yorkshire, Matthew Thomas Fitzpatrick, top 20, -120, including the ties. When I look at this course, I just think of how perfect Fitz's course management and iron play suits this assignment. And he just has every chance based on those 2 things alone. and then his around the green numbers rank as some of the best in the entire field. He's a good putter. He just has everything you want for this week. It's now 6 top 20s in his last 7 events with 3 outright wins in there. He came 5th here in 24, 9th in 23. He's had a couple of weeks off. He's well rested and ready to go. I expect Matt Fitzpatrick to be there again this week.
All right. We are moving to outright winners. We talked about Andrew Putnam last week, and we said, hey, take a look in the top 40, top 20 market. He finished 17th, way overcoming the expectations. So I think we were pretty good on that one. You're going to be stunned. I'm piggybacking you, Matt Fitzpatrick, 20-1. You broke it down, 5th total strokes gained last 3 months. His game is complete. That's what you're looking for here. And once you get past the main guys, I get a guy with similar stats to some of these guys that are, 15-1. I get 20-1 on DraftKings. There's no weaknesses in his game right now. I hope he doesn't burn me for both of our sakes, but I think that's probably the best value when you're looking at the top named guys. Who did you come up with?
I knew I'd break you down on Matt Fitzpatrick eventually. And like you say, really good effort from us last week. Nico Echeverria coming 6th, Andrew Putnam coming 17th, both cash top 20s at very big prices. Hopefully we can carry that on to this week. I'm going to do 2 again because prices matter. Firstly, my outsider, give me Nick Taylor at 100-1. He just ticks an awful lot of boxes. He's accurate off the tee, so you're starting with a good base. He's a very good iron player, approach is there. He's one that will avoid mistakes. He doesn't need to score well to have a run at this competition. He just needs to not drop shots, and I trust him to do that. He's consistent tee to green, and his most underrated skill that really helps him this week is around the green. He's a good bunker player. He has a very good short game, and he's a strong enough putter to make a few birdies when those opportunities do come. If he can bring it all together, and I don't see why he can't go and put up a top 20 finish or even challenge on Sunday, I just put him in a category of has a chance if things break right for him rather than a total no-hoper. And finally, you were calling for it last week. You're calling for it this week. I'm calling for it this week. Give me Ludwig Åberg to actually win an event at 15-1. We're talking about the best all-round golfer in the world, in my opinion. 7 top 20s in his last 8 events, including 4th at the PGA, 21st at the Masters, 5th at the Players, 3rd at the Arnold Palmer. He just has no weaknesses in his game. He's accurate and long off the tee. That's a big advantage to have this week. He's elite tee to green. He's some of the best long irons on tour. He's great around the green, has decent bunker play. He's come 16th and 5th on his last 2 visits here. If there is a box to be ticked for this assignment, Ludwig ticks it with authority. I'll be amazed if it's not another top 5 finish from him, but I think this might just be the week where he kicks on a little bit and gets the outright win.
He's just starting to get the reputation of the guy that can't close the deal. Yep. You gotta get one here, Ludwig. So I hope we can certainly. Here's his weakness, Yann. I'm looking at it right now. It's his round 1 and his round 4 scoring average. His round 2 and round 3 scoring averages are really good. Second, 26. But he gets off to bad starts. He's 54th on tour and then 43rd in round 4. You can't win tournaments when you're 43rd in round 4 scoring. This has plagued him for a while. So I don't know if it's fatigue. That doesn't make any sense. But for whatever reason, round 4 just is kind of been his Achilles heel. So, all right, DraftKings Darlings. I did terrible last week. 2 missed cuts. That's never going to win you money. So we had a losing week last week, but we're coming back. We got to go back to Eric Cole at 6,700. I'm going right back to this guy who finished 2nd, 31st, 6th, and 14th. That's really good finishes. Underlying numbers are good. Length off the tees really his only weakness, but every other part of his game has been good. Just got to be accurate off the tee, and you're good. 44th, 45th, and 24th the last 3 years here. So doesn't have a ton of upside, but if you make the weekend and give us points, that's all we're asking for. Again, we end up on the same underdog. Nick Taylor at 6,800. You did the great breakdown, and he's finished 4th and 27th here the last couple of years. So, I like his salary here at 6,800. And then it's always terrifying when you're depending on Corey Connors to do something good for you. But at 7,100, I just feel like he's a really good fit for DFS. Finished 25th and 20th here the last 2 years. Only 1 missed cut all season. Putting. The concern, accuracy off the tee, ball striking continue to keep him in the tournaments. He's not the longest hitter. Again, I'm not sure he's not going to contend to win. We know that. But again, what we're trying to do here is pick a low price guy to make the weekend, and then you have the higher price guys that you hope they can give you the low scores. So those are my 3 DraftKings darlings. And as always, my full lineup is on the article up at WagerTalk.com. Click on the news tab and you'll see articles. I've got articles this week for, we're going to have NASCAR, Formula One, UFC, and even bare knuckle fighting, believe it or not. So I just got my media credentials. I'm going to the bare knuckle event in Indiana here. I'm very, very excited about that. My first time going as a media member. So stoked for that. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us on the Cut Line. Thank you guys for joining us each and every week. Hit the like button. And again, our plays, you get all of my plays and Yann's plays for the week, 7 days for only $25 for all golf plays. Good luck on your bets, and we will see everyone next week.